I can tell you from my personal experience that eliminating social media from my life has been one of the most freeing things I have experienced. There was a point in my life that I would get so bored at work or just driving in the car that I would instinctively pick up my phone and hit a social media app. Maybe you haven't had that happen, but have you ever closed a social media app and then literally 10 seconds later open the app again? This video today is for people that have deleted their Instagram app 10 times. This video is for people that are looking for a reason to leave social media behind. And this video is for people that are on the fence on if they should delete social media completely. And I have a spoiler for you. After this video, I think I can convince you to at least take a 30-day break from it. Thank you again to all my members and patrons here in the channel. I do appreciate it. If you'd like to become a member, check out the link below in the description. You get your name up here in the video, you get early access and much more. Now, before we hop into the video, I do want to say that obviously I understand that social media has its positive effects and it's very, crucial and very beneficial for a lot of small businesses and businesses in general because it's how they reach people. It's how they promote nowadays. And so again, I want you guys to take this post and video with a grain of salt and with wisdom that I'm trying to help maybe the individual out here that is just struggling to always be on these apps, always just be bogged down with these distractions. And so that is my goal behind this video, and just to share what the effect it's had on my life from being off of these platforms. But I want to go ahead and jump into the first reason that I believe you should take a break from social media. The first reason is you don't have comparison, right? You don't let comparison poison your body. Social media is just a highlight reel of someone's best moments in their life, right? When have you ever seen on social media someone post themselves in a terrible situation? Never, right? People only post what they want you to see. And so picture this, you're having a bad day, you're feeling down, you're feeling some type of way about just the things in your life, maybe your job status, maybe your relationship status, whatever it may be, and you see your influencer that you follow post all these amazing things that are going on in their life, the cars they have, the relationship that you want, the house you want, the job you want. It's just so destructive to your mental health. That immediately makes you feel sad sometimes. It makes you feel envious. It makes you feel not enough. And this is just a small dosage of what social media can do to you mentally. Your status in life, your job, your material items are not what's most important in your life. Your relationship with God is, and none of those things are going to fully satisfy you. Matthew 6:19 says, this is the English Standard Version, "Do not lay up for yourself treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal." And so with that verse, it's basically saying that the things in this earth are going to pass away, right? They're going to go away. That car you have, it's going to eventually be gone. You're not going to bring that up into heaven with you. You're not going to bring your PlayStation 5. You're not going to bring your money. These materialistic things on earth are just things that eventually will pass away. What social media can do though is, with it being a highlight reel, is you can compare yourself a lot, even if you don't mean to. You can see what someone else has and you can want that, and it can put you in this pattern of just want, and not being thankful for what you actually have in life. And I just think that that is very destructive for your mental health. You also have to understand that everyone's path to success is different. And you also have to understand that how you define your success is also important. If success to you is just getting to the top of the ladder, earning the most money, being famous, or something else fleeting, it will not sustain you, okay? It will fall short every single time. So why be on these platforms that are just facades of people's lives when it's not a genuine representation of maybe how their life really is? It's just very destructive in a lot of ways and for a lot of people. The second reason I think you should get off of social media and take a break is it crushes the affirmation seeking aspect that we all want, right? Affirmation is good to have. It is. It's good to have the right affirmation and healthy affirmation. Think about the last 10 posts that you had. What was the motive behind that post? Did you want to get a certain amount of likes? Did you want to get a like from a certain person? Did you want to just have someone affirm that you looked good, or whatever it may be, right? What was the motive behind you posting that on social media. I'm sure all of you have seen Spotify Wrapped, and honestly, Spotify Wrapped is really cool, but I used to love posting that, and everyone used to do it, and some people would get really annoyed with it, but look at the motive behind why you're posting things. Social media is driven by a like mechanism or a love mechanism or a follow, right? You like posts, right? It gives you that dopamine hit or that instant feedback that what you posted someone liked, right? So I would really challenge you to really look at the last 10 posts or so that you've made and say, okay, why did I post this? Like, why did I really post this? Be honest with yourself. The third reason that I think you should take a break from social media is it allows you to enjoy the real world and the beauty of it. I could go into a whole new video about video games on this topic, which I will eventually. Y'all, there are so many things in this world that are beautiful and so just awe-inspiring that God has created. You can literally just sit outside, take a walk, drive around and just be in awe of like how beautiful the sky is, like the horizon, the animals that are in the fields, right? Just different things that are in this world that have been created by God that are just so magnificent. And so there's so many aspects of being off of these platforms and that just get you out of that digital space, right? It gets you in the real world, and it can help you grow new hobbies, right? So you might find that like you're spending 8 hours on your phone. Like, look at your screen time. Look and see how much time you're spending on apps. And you may find that you might spend those 8 hours, reading or learning that you like to read, right? I have actually read more books in the last 2 years than I've read probably 10 years before that. It's crazy. Like, I'm finding that I want to read. You may find that you want to do art. You may find that you like just different hobbies, maybe playing intramural sports, maybe, playing board games, whatever it may be, right? You just might find that you enjoy hobbies that you just didn't realize that you actually like. And it's because you're getting yourself off of these digital media platforms and enjoying what is actually there. Reason number 4 is it makes you less angry. This topic is always a touchy one, but let's be honest here, right? The propaganda that you see on the internet, the news incites fears and makes you angry most of the time, right? Literally look at any hashtag on Twitter and it's instantly probably going to just make you upset, and it's designed to kind of turn people against each other. When you get off social media, you realize the world isn't exactly how these platforms and these, massive influencing figures are making it seem like. Yes, the world is fallen and it needs a savior, and there are some obviously terrible things in the world, but there's a lot of great things in the world, like I said before, that you can enjoy, like the beauty and everything. But you realize that the people that maybe you think hate you, or the people that you think might think a certain ideology, realistically, when you actually talk to people in the real world, you realize that a lot of people are just tired of this crap. We're tired of this cancel culture crap, right? And it's like you find out that people just really aren't what they're being portrayed as on social media platforms. I feel like as a society, a lot of times we don't talk about controversial topics or topics in general because we don't know how to have conversations with each other, because we think that the other person is going to get upset at us for talking about it, or we think that that person doesn't want to talk about that. But in reality, that person may be open to talking about anything that you want to talk about. You just have to ask. The 5th reason that I think you should take a break from social media is it allows you to have more meaningful conversations, okay? It allows you to actually have the opportunity to have more interactions with people in real life. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's say you are scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and you see your friend post their engagement, or they had a child, or they bought a house, or just some sort of major event, right? Gets posted on social media. Well, a lot of times that's how people find out information now, right? We just talked about news, and a lot of times people find out about life events through social media. And I understand that, living in a different state or a country, for loved ones or family, that might be the only way you can connect sometimes. And I understand that. But if you are in the same area as someone and you just see that post on their social media, a lot of times what that does is it kind of kills the ability to like go up to that person later when you see them in person and actually ask them about that situation, because it's like you already saw it, and so it's like you're more apt to not even talk about that, right? And so what I think is that it actually kills our ability, and it kills the opportunity to actually have conversations and situations where you can have conversations, where you can go to a coffee shop or go hang out with that person and actually talk to them about their life. Because like literally, me not being on social media, I don't see any updates in people's lives. So when I see them in person, I actually have more things to talk about because I've not seen what they've posted. So they might be surprised or something when I don't know what's happened in their life, but it gives me the opportunity to have a conversation with that person. It's just so crazy to me that we have lost the art of doing that. And I am someone who was terrible at communicating prior to the last like 6 to 8 months. But this is something I've noticed as a huge positive effect in my life from getting off social media. Has actually just allowed me more opportunities to have meaningful conversations with people. Something that my pastor always says that I think is just so true is he says, we are the most connected we have ever been, but the most disconnected at the same time. And you can have, and it's just so true, because you could have 1,000 followers on Instagram, but how many of those people do you actually feel connected to? How many of those people do you really know? And how many of those people actually really know you? The sixth reason I think you should take a break from social media is it allows you to be less distracted. Okay, so that could be anything, right? Maybe social media is distracting you from spending time with your family. It's distracting you from work, and so you're not stewarding that time right. Maybe it's distracting you from relationships that you should be pouring into, right? It could also just be actually distracting you while driving. I've seen so many people, and I'm guilty of this myself, where we're just on our phones while we're driving. It's just very, very scary. Like, have you ever driven anywhere and 10 minutes go by and you don't even remember how you got there because you've been on your phone? Like, that's insane to me. There's got to be some psychological thing with that, but that is insane to me, right? So social media can distract you from a lot of things in your life. It can also pull you away from maybe life goals that you have. Maybe there's some things in your life that you want to pursue, right? And you're just constantly enveloped by being on these apps. Like, I'm serious. Go to your screen time and look at your daily and weekly usage. You will be blown away by how much you're on your phone. I guarantee it. Social media can rob you though from just quality time that you could be spending though with your kids, your family, your spouse, whoever it may be. And I just think that being in the habit of just not being on that device and being on those platforms is very, very beneficial. But this can affect all forms of your life. It can distract you in many, many ways. But it's just, the fact is, if you just get off of these devices and off of these platforms for a little bit, you can just see like how much information is actually being fed to you and that you're just not having in your mind anymore. And the seventh reason I think you should get off of social media and take a break is it could save you money, for real. Just think about it. A lot of these social media platforms, they make money off of ads. That's their revenue in a lot of ways, because they have ads like every 5 seconds, right? Think about how much you're scrolling and you see clothes and tech and car parts, and you just see all these ads for that. Don't you think you're a little bit more apt to impulse buy some of those things that you see the more you're on those social media platforms? I mean, think about it. Think how many times you've bought something because you've been on a social media platform. And just imagine, you might be having a tough day. You might see someone on social media wearing something that you want, and it just makes you want to buy that even more. And so this could actually save you money by getting off these platforms a little bit. You might be asking, Adam, what if this is my job? Like, what if I do social media as a job? And, the wisdom that I would give you with that is there are a lot of tools that can actually limit your time on social media if it's your job. There's things like Hootsuite, which are like content planning tools. And I understand that maybe you have to interact with people, but there's definitely ways that you can set up planned posts that can get your exposure to be less than maybe what you're doing now. But again, I understand that some people, you might just have to be on it more because it is your job. But I would limit it with your personal use. Being in the social media space, I think it would be really tough to do that job for 10 years. And so maybe consider, maybe is this something I do see myself doing in 10 years? Because it is a fairly new career path. And so definitely utilize some of those tools like Hootsuite. But consider, like, is this something I really can see myself doing for 10 years? Is this sustainable? And then the last thing I want to talk about is I'm going to have a poll on my blog, and this is the launch of my blog, The Front Lines, and it's going to be if you go through this social media fast, I encourage you and I challenge you to do a 30-day social media fast if you have not ever done that before. And after, go to my blog, which will be linked in the description, and it'll be at the bottom of the article, and answer the 3 questions in the poll. I would like to see feedback on how the 30 days went for you. And if you've already done something similar to this, then go ahead and vote. You can vote multiple times, or you can vote multiple answers on the questions, because there might be more than one thing that has happened or that has been helpful for you. But I challenge you to go to that poll and to participate. And I challenge you to fast for 30 days. I believe fasting for 30 days and deleting your apps, not being on the platforms, you will see some of these benefits that I mentioned today in the video. And so let me know down in the comments what you think about it. Let me know if you did this challenge, and I would like to just see feedback and your responses to how you felt after being off of social media for 30 days. But if you guys did like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, make sure to hit the bell as well. It does notify you when I have new content. And check out my memberships. Like I said, thank you to all my members. You can check out all those perks in the description when you go and see what that's all about. But again, y'all, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.